After the wildfire that brought heat to the season premiere, Episode 2 delivered the kind of grounded, heartfelt storytelling that continues to make Heartland feel like home. This week, we watched relationships evolve and characters navigate complicated emotional terrain. We saw everything from horse training challenges and ranch business rivalries to flag team tryouts and quiet heartbreak. So, if you're wondering what emotional curveballs were thrown at the Bartlett-Fleming clan this week, keep on listening to this recap of Heartland Season 19, Episode 2. In classic Heartland fashion, one of the main storylines in Episode 2 was a horse problem. And not just any horse, but Rowdy, the horse that once belonged to Nathan's father. When Nathan tried to mount Rowdy at the start of the episode, things went sideways fast. The horse bucked him off almost instantly, leaving Nathan with a black eye. Rowdy had been out in pasture for a while now, and Nathan's sister Gracie was pushing to sell the horse since their father was in a care home, but Nathan wasn't ready to give up on Rowdy just yet. So, when Amy offered to help with Rowdy, Nathan quickly agreed, hoping she could work some of her trademark magic. But even for someone as experienced as Amy, Rowdy proved a challenge. The first time she tried to mount him, he nearly threw her as well. Still, Amy had a feeling that something more was going on with the horse, something tied to the man who used to ride him every day. So, Amy asked if she could talk to Nathan Sr. directly, but Nathan was hesitant. His father's health was declining rapidly due to Alzheimer's, and he didn't want to upset him. But after some back and forth, Amy convinced Nathan to take her to the care home for a casual conversation. No mention of the sale, just a chat about Rowdy. At first, the visit was rough. Nathan Sr. was confused and agitated, slipping in and out of awareness. But when Amy brought up Rowdy, something clicked. Nathan's dad remembered the horse. He even admitted that Rowdy had bucked him too at first. Unfortunately, that moment of clarity didn't last long. Nathan Sr. grew distressed again, especially when he guessed that Nathan was planning to sell Rowdy. The visit didn't go totally to waste, though, because Amy thought that maybe Nathan's dad needed to say goodbye to Rowdy properly, and that kind of closure could help both the man and the horse. After the disastrous visit, Nathan was even more hesitant about that idea, but Gracie agreed. And at the end of the episode, we saw Gracie bring Nathan Sr. to Heartland to see Rowdy. Nathan Sr. told Amy about how he used a copper roller bit on the horse, since it helped Rowdy to focus. So, Amy brought out an old roller bit and was finally successful in riding Rowdy without him trying to buck her off. And in a quietly beautiful moment, Gracie and Nathan even agreed to let their dad ride Rowdy again, which brought even more joy to Nathan Sr. and felt like a moment of healing for not just Nathan Sr., but also for Rowdy, as well as Nathan and Gracie. So much so that seeing her dad back on his horse also shifted something in Gracie. She decided that they should keep the unpredictable colt. Amy and Nathan's relationship took a front seat this episode, but not just in sweet moments, in some unexpectedly thorny ones too. At the top of the episode, Nathan finally got to attend one of the Heartland family dinners. Everyone seemed to be handling it well, except Jack, who grumbled about Lou calling Nathan Amy's boyfriend. And Amy wasn't totally comfortable with the label either. With Lyndy still in the dark about the relationship, Amy asked the family to avoid calling Nathan her boyfriend for now. Despite the tension around labels, the dinner itself went off without a hitch. But after the dinner, real life reared its head again when Amy and Nathan talked about the strain of hiding their relationship from Lyndy. Nathan was clearly ready to move forward, but Amy was still hesitant. And the next day, that hesitation came back to bite her. While Amy was helping Nathan with Rowdy, the two shared an affectionate kiss. But unbeknownst to them, Lyndy saw the whole thing. That night, while putting Lyndy to bed, Amy felt that something was wrong, and Lyndy confessed that she saw Amy and Nathan kiss, asking Amy if Nathan was her boyfriend. Amy had no choice but to finally tell Lyndy that yes, Nathan was her boyfriend. And to Amy's horror, her fears of Lyndy not taking that news well came true. Lyndy told her mom that she doesn't like secrets, and she even uninvited Nathan from coming to her 4-H show, which Lyndy and Amy were preparing for at the start of the episode. Amy didn't handle that too well because instead of just telling Nathan about her conversation with Lyndy, she let Nathan assume that Lyndy's show schedule had changed and that he wouldn't be able to make it because of his meeting in the city. And that just created more issues and tension, especially when Nathan showed up at the show anyway, wanting to support Lyndy, and Lyndy took it badly. Lyndy just sat down on the ground, refusing to participate, and got disqualified in the process. So, when Nathan came to find Amy after the show, she had no choice but to come clean to Nathan about everything, and it was painful to watch. Amy told Nathan that Lyndy had seen them kiss, and that Lyndy wasn't ready to see Nathan at the show. Nathan, understandably, was hurt, not just by the lie, but by the fact that Amy hadn't trusted him enough to loop him in. It led to a loaded moment between them, where Nathan finally asked the question that had clearly been simmering for a while. Was Amy just hiding their relationship from Lyndy, or from everyone, because Amy can't fully commit? And credit where credit is due, Amy owned it. At the end of the episode, we saw Amy apologize to Nathan, admitting that she handled things badly, and that she's not just struggling to navigate a new relationship while being a mom, but that she's also out of practice when it comes to relationships in general. And fortunately, Nathan didn't walk away. Instead, he reassured Amy that he's in this with her, for real, and that he was willing to wait for Amy to figure things out if it meant that he got more time with Amy and Lyndy. If there's one thing Lou Fleming can't resist, it's digging into a mystery, especially when it threatens her family's legacy. Early in the episode, Lou brought up how Price Beef was undercutting Heartland's prices by 30%. A bold move, and one that didn't sit well with either Lou or Jack. During the family dinner, Nathan, trying to keep the peace, credited Gracie for finding efficiencies in their business model that allowed for such aggressive pricing. But Lou didn't buy it. The next day, while out on a ride, Lou saw Gracie fixing a fence and decided to dig a little deeper. Gracie, smug as ever, admitted that she's made a career out of turning struggling ranches around. And as far as she was concerned, Heartland was just another ranch clinging to outdated practices. Lou pushed back, touting Heartland's innovation, but Gracie stayed cagey about the exact methods Price Beef was using to cut costs so dramatically. As Gracie rode off, she accidentally left her phone behind. And when Lou brought the phone back to Gracie the next day, she took a chance to learn more about Price Beef operations. Lou tried to talk herself out of snooping, but ultimately, her suspicions about Price Beef's low prices led her to investigate anyway, and what she found was not great. There, in one of the sheds at Price Ranch, she saw bags of beef feed, a grain-based supplement, and a big red flag, since Price Beef had been marketing their products as grass-fed. Lou went to Jack about her discovery, and although Jack wasn't thrilled to learn that Lou had been snooping, when he realized what Lou had found, he wasn't happy either. Jack is all about integrity, and since it looked like Price Beef was supplementing their feed with grain, he felt like they were straight up deceiving their customers. So, now they had to decide what to do about the information Lou learned, because one email to Crown Shoppers or Garland Foods and Price Beef would be done. However, that would also most likely mean the end of the relationship between Amy and Nathan. Luckily, unlike last season, Lou decided not to go nuclear. Instead, she brought her findings to Amy first. And Amy, who genuinely believed Nathan had no idea what his sister was doing, begged Lou to talk to him before doing anything drastic. And Lou agreed. When Lou asked Nathan about the grain, he was blindsided. He genuinely didn't know about the feed, and he was grateful Lou had come to him first. So he asked Lou to give him a day to confront Gracie about it before Lou did anything. And as soon as he got the chance, Nathan demanded answers. Gracie admitted that she had ordered the feed, but hadn't used it yet. Her plan was to start supplementing the cattle to get them to market faster, because, as it turns out, they're barely keeping their heads above water, especially since they also have to take the cost of their dad's care into account. It was a desperate move, and one Gracie didn't feel great about. But she apologized and agreed that big decisions like that shouldn't be made without Nathan's input. With Tim off gallivanting on the rodeo circuit all summer, Heartland's daily workload was starting to pile up, and Lou wasn't about to let things fall apart. So, in this episode, we saw Lou bring up the possibility of hiring a ranch hand, but Jack wasn't exactly thrilled with the idea. For one, he didn't think they could afford it. And second, let's face it, Jack is as old school as they come. Hiring someone new meant trusting an outsider with the land he spent his whole life on, and that doesn't come easy for him. Still, Lou persisted. So Jack agreed to meet a promising candidate who came with glowing references. But that only made Jack more suspicious. Why would a supposedly great ranch hand be unemployed in the first place? The man explained that he left his previous job because the ranch he worked for started pumping their cattle full of hormones, something he didn't agree with. That sounded like the honorable thing to do, but Jack still wasn't fully buying it. Then, when Lou and Lisa tried giving Tim's horse, Champ, to the next potential hire to test his skills, Jack put his boot down hard by telling the guy that they weren't hiring after all, leaving Lou and Lisa in a bit of a shock. At first glance, it looked like Jack was being stubborn just for the sake of it. But later, he opened up to Lisa about what was really going on. Jack admitted that while they do need help, it's not a decision to be rushed. After all, hiring the wrong hand could end up being more trouble than it's worth. Lisa, however, saw through the hesitation. She gently pointed out that maybe Jack wasn't just worried about money or trust. Maybe he was dragging his feet because hiring someone new felt a little too much like replacing Tim. And she wasn't wrong. Lisa reassured her husband that hiring a new ranch hand wouldn't be a betrayal. It would just be giving someone else a shot to help. And by the end of the episode, Jack agreed to keep looking, even letting Lisa help out more around the ranch in the meantime. This episode marked the beginning of an exciting new chapter for Katie. It all started at Maggie's when she was putting up a flyer for the Ink Pot Society, her brand new teen book club for writers. Just as Katie was feeling confident about it, in walked River, the captain of the Hudson Wilds, a local rodeo flag team. And let's just say, River wasn't exactly friendly. After glancing at Katie's flyer, River wasted no time in dismissing the club and assuming that there was no way Katie could be anything but a bookworm. That stung, especially since Katie had recently rediscovered her love for writing. But instead of shrinking away, Katie decided she wanted to prove River wrong. And since the Wilds were holding tryouts, she decided to go for it and try out for the team, even if she didn't really know what she was getting into. Lisa, ever supportive, helped Katie prepare. But she also tried to gently warn Katie about trying out for something just to make a point. However, much like Jack, Katie was stubborn and therefore determined to do what she thought was right. At the tryouts, Katie was surprised to find that River wasn't as bad as she seemed. In fact, the other girls on the team respected her a lot. River, in turn, seemed surprised to see Katie there, but she wasn't dismissive. Instead, she offered constructive criticism. Katie rode well enough to make it to the next round, the interviews. But when she excitedly shared the news with Lisa, she sensed something was off. Lisa wasn't overly enthusiastic, and Katie realized she might have been too harsh on her grandmother the day before. In a sweet moment of self-awareness, Katie apologized to Lisa about being rude and opened up about why she now actually wanted to make the team. The girls on the team were actually really nice, supportive, and encouraging, and for the first time, Katie felt like she could actually belong somewhere. Yet, during the interview, Katie decided to be completely honest, which resulted in her telling River that her original reason for trying out was to put River in her place, which obviously didn't go over so well. Fortunately, Katie got a do-over when River came to Maggie's. The two had a real heart-to-heart. Katie telling River about how what she saw at the tryouts made her really want to be a part of the team, and River admitting that she had misjudged Katie too. And just like that, a spark of mutual respect and maybe even friendship was born. And River even invited Katie to officially join the Hudson Wilds, telling her that the team could use someone exactly like her. Episode 2 continued what the season premiere started. Amy's attempt to juggle motherhood with her new romance hit a rough patch, and Nathan's unwavering support continued to be a highlight of their relationship. Meanwhile, Lou's rivalry with Gracie got a whole lot messier, and Katie's storyline brought an interesting surprise. And as Jack, Lou, and Lisa debated the future of Heartland without Tim, it's clear that this season is all about transition, new beginnings, and learning to move forward while honoring the past. What did you think of Heartland Season 19, Episode 2? Are you rooting for Amy and Nathan? And should Jack and Lou hire a new ranch hand? Let us know in the comments. And I'll see you back here next week for another recap.